What's up, everybody? It's JayViper here. I've got some really crazy Black Myth Wukong stats here. I want to show them to you. Wukong's standalone benchmark tool that you can download on Steam is destroying these DEI on arrival games, and by a lot. It's not even close. These stats are crazy. Check this out. All right, so look at these stats right here. This is Black Myth Wukong, the benchmark tool. People are downloading the benchmark and checking out their computers. This is obviously free. That's one thing to take into account. But the other thing is it's a benchmark. You don't play this for hours and hours, okay? So you don't spend lots and lots of time. You might spend maybe an hour trying to get your exact benchmarks, but then you're pretty much done. You're not going to keep staying inside the benchmark, as you can see with this obvious fall off here. But I want you to look at these stats. Users right now, 14,226 people right now active inside the launcher. Peak, 85,277 people were doing this on August 13th at 12 o'clock. Okay, that is crazy numbers. It's just a benchmark launcher. Now, let's compare this to some of the games that I like to call DEI on arrival games. Oh, look at this. It's Suicide Squad. Their peak is 13,459. Now, let's just do a quick compare here. Peak, 85,000. 85,000. All right, back over here. Playing right now, 128 people, and they just dropped the DLC for Mrs. Freeze. And it didn't really see, I can't even find where it was released, okay? We had the Joker over here, where it saw a little bump and immediately dropped off, and I'm not even sure where Mrs. Freeze is, and I don't care to look, because this game's dead. And when you see a game do this, single-player games, yeah, that's pretty normal, although this is a major drop-off. That's not normal, but to have a lot less people playing, that's somewhat normal for any single-player game, even no matter how good it is. But this is also a live service game, so this is basically the death of the game. We also have the Concord beta that went off. Now, people are like, oh, it's a closed beta. No, that game opened, okay? That beta went to open beta and happened right here. 18 July, they peaked at 2,388 people, and it just went down, and they had 900 before they shut off the beta. So this is 2,300 peak. And I'm sure the game will do a little better when it releases, but it's a $40 game. It's not free to play. It's not going to do well. That's DEI on arrival. Flintlock. Oh, we all loved Flintlock. Man, the hours that we didn't spend playing this game. 648 people peak on day of release. And it just dropped from there. Boom, down. We have 51 people playing right now and a 55-person 24-hour peak. That is terrible. This game just released in the middle of June. Or July. No, sorry, July. That is horrible. And then we, of course, have Capes, which is pretty much brand new. It peaked on day of release with 664 people. Not like this had a huge hype train behind it, but 664 people that actually got suckered into buying this piece of trash. And look how many people are playing right now. 7 people are playing Capes right now. So all this comes on the heels of Wukong being absolutely attacked by Rebecca Valentine from IGN, who basically wrote a hit piece on them saying there was sexism in the workplace and there's all these issues with women. And then she complained about not having women representation in the parts of the game that she saw, although she was told there would be women in the game at some point. But, you know, there's no pleasing people like this. Of course, it turned out that they mistranslated, which had to be on purpose the way it was mistranslated, everything, right? But their response about their report didn't admit to one thing that they did wrong. Instead, it heaped the blame right back on the developer for not responding to the accusations. And let's be honest, the developer, they owed this woman zero explanation, none, because it was a hit piece. It was directed at them to attack them and hurt them, obviously. And we all know why. I mean, we can just look at this person and understand why. Yeah, Smash JT went over this. And of course, yes, the failure to address the mistranslated text, and it was full of it. It wasn't even close. They demanded defense from the accused. They wanted to be defended by gamers who are angry at them for falsely attacking Game Science, who makes Black Myth Wukong. They wanted Game Science to defend them for falsely accusing Game Science. That's a mind you know what. They're angry about femcoded. There's no such thing. It's men and women, okay? And they're in here. They said, don't worry about it and just shut up about it, okay? And you can call them out about it if there aren't later. And even then, it's a fighting game. Who really cares? And of course, Drums also hit up on this a lot too when that report came out. Talking about demands for developers, she attacked to defend her personally for making the false claims from people who were calling her out on it. So that's where we are right now with Black Myth Wukong, which is releasing very, very soon on the 20th. I know I for sure am already going to get this game. There's nothing that's telling me I shouldn't. IGN gave it a fair review. I guess they had some technical issues after Chapter 2, but they still said the game was really good. They're giving it an 8 out of 10, which I think is really good, especially if there's some technical issues, which hopefully will be addressed. But if there's technical issues, they definitely need to be on top of that. I don't like to give any leeway for technical problems on release. They need to address it 100% right away. You can't have technical issues on release. There's no excuse. But the game itself looks absolutely fantastic. I'm hoping I have no issues running it myself. I've done the benchmarks. I did this last night, and I got 60 FPS on my 3070. So I'm hoping for the best. I could not run everything on cinematic. I couldn't even touch cinematic, but I don't have a computer for cinematic mode in this game. And if you do, you're going to enjoy it, because I was looking at some footage of that. My goodness, the game is gorgeous. I mean, it looked good on mine anyway in the benchmark, but the cinematic mode is insane. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think of Black Myth Wukong and what you've seen so far. And tell me, what do you think about Rebecca Valentine's attack on them? Do you think that kind of thing needs to stop? Remember, she was the only one to actually write this. All the other reports from all the other gaming journalists came from her. It was just them citing her story again and again and again, which is why it spread the way it is. There's been no other reporter out there that backs this up in any way, shape, or form. It was a hit piece. We know it was hit piece, but I think this game's gonna have a ton of support. The launcher stats show us it is, and I'm absolutely hoping for the best, because this game is not DEI on arrival. I'm JayViper. I'll see you next time. Love you, man, and peace. Bye. This backhand to the back of the helmets, walk them down takedown, is somehow worse than the kidney punch turnaround punch. One barehanded backhand to the back of a helmet, and the guy is knocked out.